Hey everybody, welcome back to Dice Anvil. Today is the third day of World Building Week, or not every day, I'm having the weekends off. This is the third day of World Building Week. Today we're talking about the desert nation of the Arkayim Empire. This is probably my favorite nation, and you're probably watching this because you want to play a character that's from this place in the brand new game that I'm developing right now called Trichonomus. This is the alpha version that we're developing right now, and you are playing a part in that. If you leave a comment down below, if you like and subscribe, you are directly affecting the way I'm developing this TTRPG. So please leave your ideas down below. Let's go ahead and start reading about the Arkayim Empire. The Arkayim Empire covers land which a majority is a desert wasteland. Although it has moderate wealth, the majority of its members are stricken by poverty. This is by design. The Empire uses its citizens' needs to create the most driven warriors, inventors, and merchants. Cities are known to be in specific tiers that only allow citizens to move up in quality of life and opportunity if they have proven that they are able to maintain value for the Emperor's nation. The highest of these tiers is the Emperor in the capital. Right away, we are introduced with some bizarre concepts of what a society can be. There's a lot of poverty that happens in the Empire, but it's for a reason. It's so that the people that live there will want to constantly improve. Each of the cities that I'll get into in a minute stands as a kind of social pedestal that you're on. You're either on the bottom because your lack of skill has not earned you a place to move up to a better city and a better city until eventually you make it to the capital city and maybe even the emperor. How does that work? How does an emperor isn't an emperor if he's able to step down that easily? Well, we'll get into that in just a minute. There's a reason it's called the Arkayim Empire. The city was founded and is still ruled by an immortal being called Arkay. He's not just any being. He holds the shard of mind and is worshipped as a god. He maintains his immortality by transferring his being into an immaterial realm that he has created. He uses a mortal as a mouthpiece for the duration of their lives until they die, and then a new representative takes their place, just like any other role in society. To be the second most powerful being in the empire must be earned. So there's always a person that stands as the emperor, but that's not really a person. That is someone that held the shard of mind, which, if you remember from the first video from World Building Week, in ancient times there was an event called the Shattering, which Vorath Kai, which was the god of decay, was destroyed, and his essence was broken apart into different shards. Those shards could be wielded by people, and this person, Arkay, got his hand on the shard of mind, which means he was able to create a pocket dimension, which is where his essence truly lives. So when a person comes up to be the emperor, he essentially takes over their body, working through them as just a mouthpiece. I like this idea. It's kind of a loophole. Like, it may give off the illusion like, oh, like they replace the emperor like every time it dies, like it's not a big deal. It's actually a supernatural being that's taking the form or overwhelming the minds of these people. I like that idea. Tell me what you guys think in the comments though. The Arkayim Empire is massive. It's a huge desert. You can see how there's no vegetation around. Last video we talked about the Chalora nation. It is separate from them because of this mountain range called the Titan's Tombstones. In the Titan's Tombstones, there are two civilizations. There's Dakar and Mazar. Mazar is kind of in the mountains a little bit, and Dakar is right next to the coastline. We got the Blood Dunes, which are kind of the northern area, and smack in the middle of the Arkayim Empire's territory is the Scarring Desert. Why is it called the Scarring Desert? We'll find out soon, but underneath that, right next to this river, we got Torak, which is kind of the next tier. If you earn your way out of Dakar, and then if you earn your way out of Mazar, you can earn your way to Torak. And then if you make it from Torak to the next tier, the highest tier you possibly can be, you're going to be in the capital city of Arkayim, which is just called Arkayim. This is where the Emperor himself lives and where he calls the shots. It's surrounded by a mountain range as well. Very well protected, has easy access to water. So that's where you want to be. You want to be a merchant, be the best and most wealthy merchant you can be, and you'll earn your way to be upgraded to a different city. If you are a warrior, be the most deadly warrior you can be, and you'll move up to a better city. I like this idea a lot because it means when you go to a different city, you'll immediately see the differences in culture. I picture Dakar and Mazar as very low class people, just trying to scrape their way up, just trying to get the necessary resources in order to possibly move up to the city of Torak. Let's go ahead and get into the backgrounds. First up, we got the Collector. Arkayim and citizens value trade, some more than others. Collectors are the pinnacle of these values. Super simple. Your skills are deception and culture. Maybe you're a little bit sneaky, but you also know your way around. You can understand what other cultures may value. You start off with one magic item. Whenever you're creating your character, you can go ahead and take a rare or magic item out of the item page. You got two abilities. The first one is a harmony ability, and it's called preparation. You may have any small item or roll knowledge for a simple item. The roll determines how useful the item is for the current situation. No other background has an ability that can basically create items, but as a collector, you're literally a person that has many things. It made sense for this background. Next one is passion. It is treasure sense. When nearby a valuable item, the collector will have a feeling of its general presence and spend 1 passion. The collector gains 2 passion if the item is discovered. This is kind of a bittersweet ability because you're going to, if you're nearby something valuable, you're going to have a general sense that you're nearby something that you may want to put your hands on, and you're going to have a passion point taken away from you. But if you find that item, not only do you find it, but you also get that passion point back and an extra one. You're going to have a lot of incentive to find valuable items, basically. I don't know how I feel about that one. Y'all leave it down in the comments what you think. Next up, we got the Artificer. Arkayim is a society that thrives off of progress. The progress of science is no exception. Artificers have devoted their lives to understanding technology. This comes with a mind that can see weaknesses and plans. Like I said before, you got to be the best at what you do, and artificers are the best at technology or intellectual studies. They have 2 skills, technology and investigation. They have 2 abilities. The first one, harmony, is the inventor's mind. You can analyze surrounding items and collaborate with the GM to determine possible inventions. So in this game, anyone can really invent things, but the Artificer is the only one that can really push the limits of that. Meaning they can use a harmony point, and the GM and them will brainstorm for a couple seconds to find out what they can make. Alright, the second one is a passion ability, and it's weakness analysis. May discover the weakness of a target. When weakness is hit, add a D4 to damage, which doesn't seem like a ton, but it adds up if you do it at the very beginning of combat, and every character is getting those hits on that specific weakness that this target has. It's gonna be huge, and it can just kill it so much easier. Next up, we got the Weaver. This one's cool. This one I actually made like a week or 2 ago. Let me know what you think, but this is kind of what it is. Some receive a gift from Arkayim to have their consciousness in the flow. Their minds inhabit a body, not always their own. That kind of rhymes. I didn't mean it to rhyme, but their mind can kind of mimic the way Arkayim does. You know when I talked about that pocket dimension, that way you can kind of step out of the physical way and kind of inhabit a body? The Weaver can do that, except with corpses, which is they got 2 skills, worship and survival. They start off with a level 2 Janek. If you don't know what a Janek is, I'm gonna post it and explain it in my magic systems video, so go ahead and go watch that. But you'll know that that is a big deal, especially considering they have other abilities too. The Weaver also has 2 abilities, a harmony ability called Weave, which is you use a harmony point and you can move between your consciousness to the flow. Why is that important? Well, because this is how they do their other ability. It's a passion ability called Soul Strike. It's a genic attack in the flow state against an NPC's soul. If soul is defeated, they may inhabit that body. This is a this is a crazy idea. But literally, you step into the flow. Your consciousness leaves this body that you were currently inhabiting. You're in this supernatural realm, basically. And you're able to literally attack the soul of another person. If you kill that person's soul, you can then take over their body and inhabit that. So cool. Leave your comments down below what you think about it. Next up is Bloodblade, which is a cool name. Bloodblades are named after the weapon they wield and the oath they give to the great empire of Arkayim. Warriors are trained by accomplishing tasks, including traveling through the scarring desert, making their skin rough and harder to penetrate. It is a sign of dedication and pride as a warrior. You and the other hundreds of other people that are going to compete are going to run and travel through the scarring desert. The reason it's called the Scarring Desert is because it's a giant sandstorm. When you're traveling through it, all the individual sand particles constantly hitting your skin, tearing it up, will leave permanent scars on your skin. Both the gladiators and the Bloodblades, basically any warrior of the Arkayim Empire, has to travel through at some point to prove their worth. It's going to make their skin rough and scarred. This is a mark of being a true warrior and truly bleeding and believing in the nation. It's got 2 skills. It's got stealth and acrobatics, and they got 2 abilities. The first one is a harmony ability called the Assassin's Mark. Name a target. Add 1d6 to all attack and defense rolls against that target. That's it. You hone in on a specific target, you understand their moveset, and you plan on killing that thing. I love that. You can do that in the beginning of a campaign. You can do that in the beginning of a fight. You can do that in the middle of a fight. Whatever you want to do, you can put on your Assassin's Mark. The next one is Sand Scars, which is a passion point. They may add 1d8 to defense rolls against slashing damage. Because of your rough skin by traveling through the scarring desert, those sand scars are going to protect you against slashing or cutting damage because your skin is so rough. It's going to cost you a passion point, but still, you never know when you might need that. Next up, we got the Gladiator. Gladiatorial champions are celebrities in Arkayim culture. They are seen as the pinnacle of a warrior that fights for their god emperor should kill like. To be expected, gladiators are super sick, and they're basically the NBA of this culture. Let's go ahead and dive into what they do. They got 2 skills, one in fortitude and one in intimidation. They start off with level 1 armor, which if you don't know what that means, go ahead and watch my armor video. They got 2 abilities, both for passion. They got Bloodthirst, which is when they add 1d6 per point of damage taken in combat to 1 attack roll. So if your character has taken 3 points of damage, maybe they're getting really beat up, and they really need to take out this one enemy. Well, they can go ahead and use a passion point, and they add 3d6 to their next attack, which is massive, which is huge. So being hit isn't all that bad. Being a gladiator just means you can become more dangerous later in the fight. The second ability is Sand Scars. They may add a d8 to defense rolls against slashing damage. The social perk is that everyone that is from the Arkayim Empire can speak this language called Shattered. It's called Shattered because it was the language that was used before the Shattering event, which we talk about in the first video. Please go check that out if you haven't. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of lost during the rest of these videos. If you are from the Arkayim Empire, you are going to be constantly focused on improving yourself, proving your worth to society, not only just for you, but maybe to get your family into a better city with more opportunity. The whole society revolves around your ability to perform and to make the best results in your specific craft. You have a lot of pride in not only the empire, but also the unbelievably strong leader that you serve. That is it for the Arkayim Empire. You might be saying, okay, these places are cool and all, but what if I want to implement some European culture, some classical D&D vibes to my character? Well, tune in for tomorrow. We'll talk about the Kingdom of Amalon. Go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe, and please comment your opinions on everything I talk about in this video, in future videos, and help me make this TTRPG. Thank you guys so much. Y'all have a great day.